I learned that the mic, there's two parts to the mic when it's wireless, right? You have the mic itself, and then you have the part that connects to the computer. That part, I did not plug back into the charger last week after we finished up, so I never charged it, and I'm hoping that I sound okay. Had to jerry-rig something to charge it while it's connected, so if it doesn't sound, it's a little whack, okay? How about now? Are we good now? I was trying to charge this thing at the same time, coming through with a lot of static. Okay. A lot of static. Well, all good now. Okay, yeah, so we're not going to be able to charge it and use it at the same time. Got it. Fantastic. Just leave the receiver plugged in the computer all the time. Yeah, that's what I did, but it's rechargeable. It doesn't charge at the same time, so I'm hoping it doesn't die. Sound good now? All right, let's do our normal here. Reth giving me shite in the chat. Appreciate it. Alex, good morning. Petty, good morning. Shaggy, Tin Talon, Wick Central. Skyrim, good morning. Kevin Wickham. Who else? Kenny Palms. All of you, good morning. Good morning. So kind of in between projects here. And so what I decided to do was to make sure that we can get a little further on our SkeleFork. That is our project that was sort of put together by members. So members chose a lot of the hardware that goes into the build. They've chosen sort of a theme-ish kind of thing. And if you're not familiar with the Mad Max build by Zruncho, it is a low-cost tool changer that you can add to just about any 3D printer. And so that's what SkeleFork is. So it's based around a Salad Fork 180, which is kind of a mini Trident, and then a tool changer on top of that. So that's what we're picking up. For those that are not members or just coming in to kind of figure out what this is, we'll take a look at the build real quick and talk about what we've done so far, and then see how far we can get in the time that we have. I will not be able to go to Rocky Mountain. I have to go to a course, and it just doesn't allow me time. So it would be literally showing up on Saturday afternoon and then having to catch a flight Sunday afternoon. So I'd have about 24 hours, and I'd be flying coast to coast to be able to do it. It's just a lot to be able to manage at the time. So I'm just not going to go this year, unfortunately. That was weird. Yeah, I was trying to charge it and use it at the same time. I don't think that's going to work for us. So anyway, let's take a look at where we are. I want to get some stuff done today. So you'll notice, no, that's all good, Putty. I appreciate the question. So you'll notice my camera's all jacked up because the Trident we were working on is gone. And so our workbench is completely empty right now. And so taking a look at the project, this is where we last left off. It's been a little while since we've taken a look at this build. And so this is where we are. I got you a really extreme top-down angle here so we can get the full printer in view. You'll notice that it is very custom. So Pathetic Puma did the frame for us, did all the laser engraving on the frame, which came out really good. So it might be hard to see on camera, but it is the Salad Fork logo and the Printers for Ants logo, just kind of patterned all around. Rhett, yeah, we could do a, what do they call it, a fat head. It's like a cardboard cutout. Fit in your carry-on. Hey, Bryce. Good morning. Thanks for being here. So most of this is a Salad Fork build. It's a kit I got from West 3D. Some of the changes that I'm doing are Stealth Fork, which is a mod of kind of the parts. It makes the parts more angular and things like that. Not too much different than the stock Salad Fork bits, but a little more angular, which is my preference. It looks a little better to me in my eye. The idlers are a little different at the front. Skirts are a little different here. We're going to go headless, so there'll be no screen on here initially. If I change my mind later, sure, but it's kind of where we are. The other thing I need to do is swap these plates out, which is going to be a little bit of work. I have to undo a portion here and then undo this. And I want to swap it out with some other ones that I made that actually have covers. So this here has the Printers for Ants logo in it. So a multicolor print. And then there's a small cover that covers the lead screw right there. I had to modify this a little bit. It's not made directly for inverted electronics, which is something I want to do on the build. So I had to chop off some of the extra meat here, and then that'll go in place of the solid fork ones down here. So hope to get that done today. I have most of the other parts printed. So our docks are printed. Those should mount kind of in this area here. Completely forgot about the fathead thing. Commercial drive you insane? Yeah. Yeah, so that's where we are, and that's where we're kind of working on. I have two used, what are these? WWBMG, so two different types. This one is more for an ant head style, so it's got like a Sherpa mounting pattern on there. This one is more of a, I don't know, I guess like a normal style mount. Neither one are going to work for us for the build, but the internals are what I was after. So they do have motors and things like that. And I have the new parts printed to swap everything over. So got to get that done at some point. Members also chose some bed fans. So we have bed fans on here going on. And carriage wise, we did this on the previous stream, got the carriage good to go. This is the printed carriage. So it's just kind of sitting on there with tension right now. But I got this assembled and wired together. So we're pretty good on that one as well. Took my time really kind of putting this together. So should work. We'll see how it goes. But that's sort of the carriage. And then your AB motors are double shear in the location they are. So that's kind of the overview of where we are. Very bare bones, kind of empty frame printer at this point. Did I make a CNC one for Mad Max? Not that I know of. I would love to see this in CNC, but I don't know anyone that makes one. I believe it would have to be a custom thing. You could probably send this off to a company and have them machine it for you, but it would not be very cheap, I'll tell you that. There are a lot of holes and things that are pretty small. But if you know a machinist, maybe they could do it for you. I think anything like a send away service like PCBWay or something like that, they might charge you a little bit to make this. But if you find it before me, I would love to have one. So that's that. Everything's moving pretty smoothly. And yeah, let's see if we can get some stuff done today. I think I want to start by swapping out these front plates here. Job for a Milo? Yeah, if I had one. If I had one. And then also if I had the skill set to do any CNC, that would be nice. Let me find some tools. You're going to start making your builds with a USB and HDMI port in the skirts just to plug in a clipper screen as you need if you need to make small changes at the printer. Yeah, it's a great idea. Something like, oh, what is it? There's a Pad 5 coming out pretty soon that seems like it would do that, but it does have a Raspberry Pi built into it. So it is probably not exactly what you're talking about. I need a nozzle wrench, or sorry, like an M3 type wrench. Let's see if it's up here. Yeah. Those are too big. Down Undermaker's gonna go do a stream on it. I try to catch Down Undermaker's streams when I can. He's later in the evening for me. I know he's in Australia, so it's a different time zone. But I try to go back and watch when I can. Looking for my M3 nut wrench, and I don't know where I put that thing. It's around here somewhere, but I think in the meantime we'll just get the parallel jaw pliers out. I have lock nuts on the bottom of these Z screws here, and so I'm just trying to keep them from spinning so I can undo the palm nut. Man, I didn't feel like these screws were that long. So there's one. Let's get a little container to put these in so they don't end up all over the place. Let's see. I thought I had something in here. This will work. So how's everyone's week? Pretty crazy week for me. Just a lot going on. I need a shorty. Let's see, what do I have in here? Short 2.5, that'll work. Well, I lied, they're the same length. I thought I had shorties in here. But I do, they're just too small. I don't have a 2.5. Yeah, a little crazy for me this week. Work was a lot, and then on Saturday, I had my big promotion ceremony, which was absolutely fun. Sorry, that was Friday night into Saturday. So Saturday was a little rough getting out of bed. I think I slept in for the first time in maybe like a year. Slept in all the way to 6 o'clock. How my kids handling the updated upcoming move? They're pretty adjusted to it. My older daughter, my 16-year-old, has moved with us. I think this will be her 5th move. My little one is on her this second. This will be her 3rd. So by this point, we're fine. It doesn't bother us too much. We kind of treat it like an adventure. And I think with kids, they may have their own opinions on it or whatever, but for the most part, if you're cool with it, they're going to be cool with it. So that one's free. And so that's how we've been able to sort of treat it. Still don't know where or when. It actually moved another week. So now it's 2nd week of April before I know anything at all. Oh, these two are much easier to remove than the other two. I don't know why that's the case. They weren't cross-threaded or anything, but these were noticeably less sticky. Fine until last night, 2-hour power outage caused by Mylar. What? That is crazy. I had not heard about that. A balloon can take out 7,500 people's power. That's crazy. Yeah, I made the extra effort to get motors for this that have replaceable wiring, so that when you're doing what I'm about to do right now, it's a little bit easier to swap these out instead of having to undo a bunch of wiring at the same time. They're also Teflon coated, and we're using palm nuts, so I don't have to worry about grease when I do what I'm doing right now. So Kenny, when there's power outages like that, what do you guys have to do for that? Like, how do you even fix something like that? Do you have to go change the wires or something? I'm not an electrician. I don't have the right words, so excuse me if I'm saying things that doesn't make sense. Bryce, promotion, yeah. I was promoted at work, and so we had a big ceremony. Some of my in-laws flew in, and we celebrated pretty late into the evening on Friday, which is not normal for me. I don't normally stay up late like that. I think we're out to like 2 in the morning. It's not normal. Oh, thanks, Petty. Yeah, it's turns out the first 23 years are the hardest. After that, it's cake. Oh, fine. What's the last night? Did we ever get an answer on that one, Kenny? Like what you guys have to do to fix power when you lose it for 7,500 people? So that way, and then try to get these other 4 out right here. This should let this come off. So I think the motors right now are trapped by the skirts. Just the design of it doesn't allow them to just freely come off. Do you have to salute me now? No. No, I'm still enlisted. I am not entitled to a salute at all. But if I receive one, I will always return it. Does that answer your question? I'm dropping screws everywhere. All right, now that can rotate out. Cool, we got that off. We keep the orientation on that, bring all this hardware out of this one. Yeah, this one was fine. But the SkeleFork logo portion of it, when I was doing multicolor, it didn't fully turn out great. So you could see it on there. It's not great. The bridging on there was pretty terrible. The pattern on this came out really good. I don't know if you can see it where you are, but it came out really good. But that bridging in there did not. So modified and reprinted these, and I hope that these look a lot better. There we go. I will have to remove the palm nut though to get this on there. That's all NB energy. At the time, you and your wife were reclined in electric chairs. I can picture that. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Getting APCs for both? What's an APC? Sorry, I just don't know what that is. "25 years at your job entitled you to dinner and a pen?" Yeah. Was that for a retirement or for a promotion though? Oh, power backup. Okay, I've not heard that called an APC. I'm not sure what that acronym stands for. Yeah, John, I'm military, and so we have customary things that we do, you know, as you can imagine. And so because of that, we were able to do a whole ceremony. What is happening here? This does not line up. I'm just slightly moving these. These nuts so that they align with the part, because right now they kind of don't. Sorry if I'm getting in your way here. I just need to see for a second. Oh, it's a brand. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Keep grabbing the wrong tool. Where's my ball end? Here we go. Just run this in a little bit. We'll tighten it down with a square end. Feels like those might be too long. Like they're bottoming out before they get tight. Oh, just a celebration. Almost a 30. Wow. 30 years. That's a long time. I never thought I'd be a 30-year guy. But I'm pretty damn close. I'm at, I'll be 24 years at the end of August, which is about 4 years longer than I had planned to, but I'm still having fun. So we continue on, charge forward. I'm going to grab some shorter button heads here. Actually, I have when you order a SkeleFork kit from West 3D, they're going to send you a bag of hardware. And I'm going to try my best to use that, but because I'm doing so many like slight modifications to this thing, all of the hardware doesn't exactly match what the manual says it should be. And so I've kind of been digging into my stash a little bit to make sure that I've got the right things. And the other thing is a lot of this hardware is not labeled. So I don't really know what is what. I think these are okay. But these are Torx. So these are not even, you can't even put these in with a normal driver. These are Torx M3 by 10s, I believe. I do have a Torx driver, but it's for a drill. What did I do with that? Yeah, I'm just not going to be using these, I suppose. Let me find some normal button heads here. Get some shorter ones going. I have some black versions. I think these are shorter. Those should work fine. Let's see. Yeah, this might still too. I think they need to be 8s, and I don't have very many 8s left. But we'll make do. We'll get as far as we can, and then I'll have to order some more. You mean you don't want to be a lifer? I mean, I enjoy experiences and doing as many different things as I can while I can. And that's the reason I've been able to stay so long, is because I continually change jobs and locations and things, and so it keeps it interesting and fresh and new. I definitely need that. It fits me very well. You have a state job, it's not much partying. I understand. I understand. Mine was less of a party and more of a celebration. The party started after the event. when we go hang out with friends and stuff after the fact. Do my best to find some hardware here, but I don't know that I have enough button heads to do this. So until I can swap this out, we'll go with our cap heads or socket heads, excuse me. What am I building? Damien, sorry, catching up in chat here. Building a salad fork, which is a mini trident based on 1515 extrusions. And these extrusions were laser engraved by Pathetic Puma, who runs Focal Point Engraving. And he can engrave whatever you need on any sort of extrusion frame. So if you're looking to add a custom touch to your stuff, reach out to Focal Point Engraving. And then ultimately, this build will become a tool changer using Mad Max. So Mad Max is a modification you can add to almost any 3D printer, open source. And you just go to the GitHub, design yourself a dock if one doesn't exist for your custom build, and you too can have a tool changer. So this is looking at roughly 2 tools, so you have one on each side. It's going to be a 180 build volume. Just found out the Elegoo CC does resume printing. Nice, man. Yeah, the only issue with the resume printing is that you can run into issues where the bed cools and then your part releases anyway. So that can be a challenge. But if you're printing a low temp filament, like I think if you're doing a TPU print, you might be fine when the bed cools down. But with the PLA or a PETG, something like that, you're probably not going to be able to resume. That part may come off the bed depending on how well it adhered. I think the proper name for 15 is the Devil Sticks. I've not heard that. Devil Sticks, yeah. I mean, they're not too bad when you're building a larger machine, but on a V0, it can be painful. For example, I wanted to do backers on my Y and my X, but I forgot to preload those nuts in there. So yes, they can be devil sticks when you forget to preload nuts. I did get some of the post-install M3s that I could use in here. I think they're in this collection of parts. I've got them around here somewhere, but I assumed as soon as I find those, I can just drop those in and install the backers off camera. I'm not exactly sure what I did with those. I've been trying to organize a lot to prepare for the move, and so things have been shuffled around quite a bit. DaVinci 10, what's up? I appreciate all the emojis. You're working on a robot arm of your own design. Very cool. Pretty, and you like it. Damien, if you're in my YouTube, or sorry, not my YouTube, my Discord channel, I would love to see what you're working on if you are willing to share. I think I have almost all the gotchas worked out with the Rook Mark II. Cool. I was kind of interested in one of those, but then I thought about it and I'm like, a fully printed 3D printer, that sounds like a T100 or a T250. So I'm kind of in between. I'm like, why do a Rook Mark II if T250 exists or T100 exists? I don't know. I probably have enough spare parts laying around to do a Mark II. So there's no reason why I couldn't. Just time. Time and the ability to make time to come out here and build things. This week I had 0 time. And Saturday I was so hungover and tired that I didn't do much of anything. We took our daughters to an Easter egg extravaganza, like an Easter egg hunt type deal, and they went out there for the day. I got more sun than I care to mention, and I was just exhausted when I got home. So I slept from like 3 o'clock to 5. So it took like a 2-hour nap, and then we did family movie night, and everybody crashed again. So Saturday was a wash. A lot of times, that's the only other time I get during the week to prepare for these projects and whatnot. And so I feel a little bit off when I don't get that extra time on Saturday to prepare. But I've been thinking about today all week long, so I knew that I wanted to get back on this salad fork. It's been way too long. This project should have been done by now. I just wasn't able to fit it in. I thought I would have more time than I did, so lesson learned. Join and send. Cool. Thanks, Damien. Yeah, I'm always interested in other people's projects. I have ADH Ooh Shiny. Button heads here. Good morning, Kegel. I think the advantage of an enclosed printer of 180 is how fast a chamber. Exactly. Yeah, my Micron does super well at getting the temp pretty quick. And if you even wanted to add another chamber heater to that, it'll get to temp even quicker. Once I get done with this, though, I think I really do want to get my Micron refreshed. I built it on initial beta parts a couple of years ago, and now that R1 beta is out and kind of final, I really want to update it to that. We're looking at potentially, so I was talking to Projects and Dad's Garage, Alex, who I think is still here. He suggested that we make it into a Doom Micron. So I kind of like that idea. A couple of vertical extrusions and, you know, basically flipping everything around. That's not too bad. That's the old one. We'll get rid of that. That's the old one. New one is this guy. We'll get this on here. Flip that way. ADH Ooh Shiny. Yeah, ADH Ooh Shiny. That's what I said, yeah. You won't be printing ABS on the Trident 350 you just got. TPU, PETG, and PLA with index, hopefully, is the goal. Okay, so no reason to enclose it then, yeah? Yeah, I build all of mine to be capable of printing ABS and ASA, but I often, if I'm doing like a PLA or something like that, I'll use the Bamboos for something like that. Although they do their fair share of ABS printing. I don't have a dedicated PLA machine, but I guess you could consider, what is it, the switch wire to be that. All right, those are too short. I need a 10. You would take the chamber too long to heat up. Yeah, on a 350, absolutely. You need to either live in a place that's normally warm, and then probably add a chamber heater to help it out, or do what you're doing and just make it a dedicated PLA machine or something. My rat rig is that way, but I fully intend to add a chamber heater to it. Again, another project I need to get back to and get in a better state. Like, it works, it'll turn on, it'll do a thing, but it doesn't do it well. And I need to Need to figure out what's going on with that guy. All right, so that is good to go. Let's see how this is going to work out here. Just move some of these over. And same over here. Don't forget our palm nut. You want to build another micron? So do I. I don't know. I'm just on a small printer kick right now. I really like... You can build more smaller printers than you can large printers, so maybe that's what it is. I definitely have my share of large printers right now. Need to do... Sorry, I screwed that up. I need to mesh these together a little bit here. Like that. And then we can screw them together. There we go. So before I had these palm nuts going laterally, I want to have them going fore aft. Just for access of the screws is a little easier versus trying to bump up against this idler. So I'm going to orient mine front to back like that as we go install the rest of this. Come on, you can get in there. What's the hang up? There we go. Is that pressing up against there too much? All right, there it is. These 10s, maybe some 8s. Uploaded pictures to show off your prints. Heck yeah, I'll do my best. I don't know anything about robot arms, but I'll take a look. If this USO Wi-Fi would cooperate, you'd love to stay in live mode and not end up 3 minutes behind. It's all good, man. It's all good. Ooh, I forgot to set up the giveaway too. Let me get you guys a link for that. My bad. I was running behind. I'm dealing with microphone issues this morning. Oh, and please, if my mic drops out today, you guys yell at me in chat because I don't know when it goes out. It doesn't tell me. And I'm a little bit worried that my receiver part is not charged all the way because it's been not charging for the last week. It's just kind of been hanging out, so let me know. Is the backlash standard on the salad fork or something I'm doing? I believe it's standard because the lead screws I got with my kit came with these backlash nuts on there. So again, this is a self-configure kit from West 3D. So the frame, it comes with frame, hardware, motors, bearings, and like fans and stuff like that. So very, very complete kit, but I don't know what else it comes with. Oh, panels. It comes with panels. Yeah, so it'll come with everything you need to build a stock salad fork kit. I needed some extra components because of the Mad Max portion of this. But if you're going for standard salad fork or stealth fork, you'll have what you need. And it just might take you a little bit to have it actually ship because I believe everything is picked by hand and assembled by hand. So with that in mind, it takes a little bit for things to happen. I'm going to swap out these button heads here while I have the chance so that things match. But yeah, I do need to get your filament giveaway set up. So let me finish up here and then we'll get that going. Totally forgot about that. Additive Adam, thanks for being a member for 5 whole months. That's pretty cool, man. I think 5 months is about the time that I even started offering memberships. I think that's right around the time that I was allowed to do that by YouTube. So thanks for being here from the beginning. Troy, are you thinking about doing a salad fork, like building one? Or are you just curious about part selection and whatnot? Okay, those feel pretty solid. Let's get these in here. Mainly curious, probably doing a 2.4. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed it behind me when I was in like full front screen mode. Got a Doom cube behind me that needs to be looked at, probably refreshed, probably reprinted a few of the parts, updated slightly for today's standard. But we'll probably get to that after the move, so a little bit later this fall. So I'll probably be right behind you on a 2.4 build. Come on, baby. Maybe this is why we don't have these go in first, because the purple bracket's a little bit in the way to be able to get in there. But seems to be good now. All right, let me get you set up with a film giveaway and drop this link in here for you. But this is that Doom cube I was talking about. So I need to do something with this guy. I'll do a refresh on it. Really considering just turning it into a stealth changer. But I do have another V2 over there that needs some love. It needs some update. It's the original Rev A LDO kit. So that's also a good candidate for a stealth changer build. This is already a Doom cube, so it'd be cool to keep it that way. But again, I would still have to go through it and refresh some stuff. I'm just not decided where I want to go with it yet. What's up with these extrusions? What are all these marks? It's a custom frame. So I sent it over to Focal Point Engraving, and they engraved in the Salad Fork logo and the Printers for Ants logo, and just patterned it all over the frame. It almost looks like a checkerboard kind of thing. Very eye-catching. But he'll do it for any frame that you have. So whenever you're doing, I don't know if your robot arm uses extrusions at all, but if you wanted to have your logo put across that or any other sort of pattern, they can take care of you for it. Doom Cube Index would be cool. I was not able to get in on the pre-order for Index. That was not a thing. All right, let me get your thing here. Primary printer is a Trident. You built a 2.4 son a couple years ago. Cool. Yeah, my primary right now has been my H2D. Yeah, it is very pink. It is very pink. Not my favorite. I'll be honest with you. Not my favorite. It is very pink. My daughter has resorted to calling it Barbie printer, and that really that's kind of a stab in the heart that she would call it a Barbie printer. But that's what she named it. She names all of my machines, and this one is Barbie. So I have a hard time though, because if the pink is very pink and I don't like the pink, it's a complete frame change. But the frame on this thing is, like $200. It's not an inexpensive frame. So to do all that swap, it's a complete teardown and rebuild, which we could do. It would be a pretty good series. but there's a little bit of a price to pay to do that. The other option is to just get the verticals, which LDO does sell as an add-on, and we could swap those to black and do like a sort of pink and black theme, which tones it down a little bit. But pink and black is kind of boring to me. I like, if you know anything about the channel, I like a little bit of a pop of color. I like 3 color machines, not just 2. Come over, let's go party. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let me get you guys this link real quick. I love the banter. I do like flare, yeah. 17 pieces of flare is the standard. But even the SkeleFork that we're doing right now is 3 colors. So it's a lighter blue, it's a kind of mid-tone purple with a very bright UV yellow. So 3 colors on that, 3 colors on the Trident we just finished, 3 colors on the V0 we did, 3 colors on the Delta Flyer we did. So that's just my preference. All right, just getting set up here behind the scenes, moving stuff around. But you guys should have the link in chat there to start filling out your responses. I'll start the drawing for this in about an hour, so you have time. I'll try to remind you guys throughout. But if you don't get there, that's fine. Sorry, let's open that one. Printer's working almost 24/7 for the last 2 months. Yeah, it's nice to have printers that just work, and that you can really rely on, send prints to, and just know that they're gonna work out for you. My H2D has been that for me, and so right now so I just printed for my promotion. I printed a bunch of squadron patches or whatnot, and then we did some laser cut cork on the back, and I had these at every place setting on the table, so that folks could take this with them. And it said, thank you, from me on the back of the cork and whatnot, but just a little bit of memorabilia for them to take. So I did these, and then I did a version that is just the Tiger. Put those together. So the H2D was cranking them out pretty much all week, since Sunday afternoon till now, making those things. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Let's get back to our build. You want to see a red stapler? I have a red stapler at work. Octo app now supports Bamboo, so you can just put your H2D in land mode. John, I've not heard of an Octo app. You'll have to drop me a link for that. Snapmaker, you want? I'd like to. I've seen it. I want it. I was skeptical because Snapmaker, this is not their first printer. Snapmaker did another printer, and from what I remember, that one didn't work as great as they had advertised. So I was a little wary about Snapmaker, just being honest. So I did not do a Kickstarter for it, and so I don't have one. Now that it's out there and I'm seeing the reviews and people are largely positive about the machine itself, I am more willing to take a look at it. But I need to make space. So I'm really trying not to bring new printers in right now. I am working on things that I already have or that need some love. And that's kind of why we're doing SkeleFork right now and not doing a new build. I need to get this one finished. So we're going to focus on that for the next couple of months until I can find a place where I'm stable and I have the shop set up again in a new location and all that kind of stuff. So maybe one day we'll do a Snapmaker. I'd really like one. I think there are a few tool changer type things coming out. It should not be someone's first printer is your first impression. I don't disagree with you. Tool changing, I have a feeling firmware, because this is always a problem for me. firmware on this build here is going to be a challenge. So I need to get smart on firmware before we start doing firmware, because I don't want to get bogged down on stream and have you guys suffer through that with me. FlashForge is coming out with a tool changer. I saw that. It's like a 85, I want to say 85X, but that's not right. They're calling it something else, but I did see it. I did see it. $650. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I saw that Atom Form thing that all the folks went to Silicon Valley to check out. So all your top streamer people, all your top YouTube people went down there and did a little video on that. It looks like a cool machine. It's a little pricier though. You're talking like $1,000 for the base price. And then I think it's like $1,300 if you get the multicolor setup as well. You have a 350T. U1 is not related at all. Yeah. Come on. Just can't really see what I'm working on here. You think the U1 as someone's first printer is not going to go over well? Yeah. It's a learning curve. Ooh, how am I going to get in there to get that one? I need a different tool. I got to find my M3. There it is. Hidden. I need to clean up the shop a little more. Do better more often. Creator 5, Creator 5 Pro. Is that the name of it? Also, U1 really needs an enclosure if you're going to use multi-material like PETG supports for PLA prints. PETG should not need an enclosure though. Well, you should be able to print PETG open air. Talk to Joey about the firmware. Yep, tracking Reth. Tracking. Probably get the FlashForge one just to have a cheap one for stuff. Yeah. I mean, whatever, right? You always have to consider the budget and then consider the use case. Buying a printer just to buy a printer without a use case for it, you're going to end up with things that you might not use all the time. And those things will consume a lot of your resources just to hang out and not be useful. Don't do that. Pro version looks very good. FlashForge kid. Oh, the mammoth. I think that means what I think it means, and it's hilarious. FlashForge tool didn't change his nozzles and filament, kind of like the Index, but wired heaters. Yeah. Yeah, that Atom Stack one, it changes the nozzle. It like screws it in and unscrews it, which is really different. I'm curious to see how that works in the real world. Nowadays, it might be a good idea to just buy first printers ready to go. But building one is still so fun and worth it. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Building is different, but not everyone wants to build. A lot of people just want to buy and use, and that's fine. They treat it more like a tool. Personally, I enjoy building more than I like printing, which is why we don't do a lot of printing content on this channel. We do a lot of building instead, because this is more my jam. This is my happy place. This is where I go to decompress and relax. And so before we started the channel, I would be out here for 6-7 hours sometimes on the weekends doing this stuff. And my wife was like, well, why don't you just stream? That way you can talk to other people as you're going to be out here anyway. And so that was kind of the reason for launching the channel. And so now that I have a commitment to be here with you guys each week, it makes it a little more motivating to get the projects done instead of just having them languish for weeks at a time. Weeks, what am I lying about? Months sometimes. Yeah, the 85X works great, and they have support for, what's it say? First year, but their locked firmware and spying's a bit overboard. Yeah, that's the trade-off, right? That is the trade-off. If you're going to buy something, it seems like nowadays, and I don't know who you want to blame for it, but nowadays your printer is going to be tied to whatever cloud service, and that company is going to be able to look at whatever you're sending to them. So that's a concern for you. You might want to build versus buy, or buy smarter and know what you're buying into. A whole bag of them. A whole bag of Richards. Yeah, that's one of my favorite sayings. I say that thing all the time. That's so funny. I love when we get people who have served here and there's a relationship on lingo. All right, there's the old one. Nothing wrong with this one, just that it needs to be swapped out for this one with the little cover. So absolutely not necessary, but if you're anything like me, you collect filament scraps and bits and pieces down in this hole that goes around the lead screw. It's also very difficult to get in there and wipe out any excess grease that may get pushed down the lead screw. So something like this keeps that filament junk out of there and hopefully catches a little more of that grease before it goes down into a place you can't get to. But then also you can pop this out if you needed to fight like you would on this guy. I think I modified this one slightly. I can't remember. I think I modified this one slightly to be able to accept the inverted electronics panel, but I think it'll still work. We'll make it work if it doesn't, even if I have to undo it and reprint it off stream. But it works in CAD, so we'll see. All right, move some of these no-drop nuts again. Oh, I realized I needed a very specific no-drop nut for this frame, by the way. This is not an LDO frame. This is probably Maker Beam. It's whatever West 3D sends. So I had to get a very specific no-drop nut for this build. So if you're doing this, keep that in mind. So let's put dark ones on here. Locked in spying, we almost expect. Overly threatening your customers is beyond the pale. Don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you. That's why you love your 2.4. It's not a printer, it's a platform. There you go. Yeah, when I first built mine, I think I put 3,000 hours on it because it was, at the time, I think I only had 2 machines. I was coming off a Creality CR6 SE, and that's what I used in a hot box to print all the parts for the 2.4. And that was my second build kit. The first one I did was a Formbot 350 Trident, and I loved it. And then when LDO dropped the 2.4 kit, immediately got that, and love that one as well. And I used the hell out of that, got rid of the CR6, sold off the Trident, and yeah, that became my main printer for the better part of a year. Oh, that's not grabbing. What's going on there? Are you too short? But yeah, I love my 2.4. I think there's a video of it on my channel. It might be a short, but it's from a couple of years ago. Where'd that come from? All right, I can't get this screw out, so let's grab it. Yeah, I think it might have been too short, not an 8. We probably need a 10 over here. Pat on the frame is impossible not to stare at. I agree. I agree. That's why I got it, man. And he did such a great job. Pathetic Puma did such a great job on this. So highly recommend if you want to add a little bit of flair to your machine, reach out to that guy and see what he can do for you. You like building one from a maintenance point of view? All your Vorons, you can get spare parts. Correct. Breath, you nailed it. You nailed it. Having the ability to come back and repair and not have to worry about finding parts for a machine that is closed off. And you can continually update it too. That's the other thing. So if there's a new mod that comes out that fits a need for you, you can just add that on in a weekend. Print some parts, add it on, call it good. Not really the case. So I have a collection of machines that do a little bit of both. Some are tools, and those are my bamboos. I don't really screw around with those. I use them just to print because they're super reliable, and all I do is maintain them. The Vorons and the rat rigs and the other things are the fun machines. They are, some of them are built for higher temperature printing stuff. So they have chamber heaters and things. Some are built for just to try out new mods and play around and develop things. So they each have different purposes, but that also means they don't print as much. So they have fewer hours than some of the other things I'm working on. So I think I'm getting like a little bit sick again too. Our weather has been crazy here. It was hot, like in 95 for the last like week. And then the week before that, we were super cold. And we're about to go back into another cold spell. So like all the pollen is out, all that stuff. Nice. What's up, Barton Fink? I almost missed you there. 3,000 hours of rookie numbers. Yeah, I know. The only reason it doesn't have more is because I started doing other builds, and so I printed less on those and more on others, and then I ended up moving. And since I've been here, I haven't really used that machine very much at all. My X1 Carbon has something like 9,000 hours on it, though. Bareth, we can't compare to you. Like, you print more than anybody I know. What is going on with this thing? These screws just don't want to screw anymore, which is really screwing up the build. All right, so those go in. Those are probably a little long, so I feel like they're 8s, but 8s feel like they don't grab. I don't know what's happening. All right, we'll see. We're on to Linux at 3D printers. That's a good way to think about it. Dropping nuts with Joseph Kiloprints. 5,000 on yours? Okay, that's good. Rebuilding a 300 Trident. Very cool. 14,000 hours. Yeah, I probably need some love. Ref, is it a stock Trident? I don't think you do too much crazy stuff with your machines from what I remember, right? I mean, because you're looking for reliability for the 3D printing elves, which, by the way, for those watching, if you don't follow Reth and 3D printing elves, they could really use some help. Non-profit, taking care of kids, making sure kids have toys to play with. They could always use your support. So 3dprintingelves.org, I believe it is. All right, Troy. We'll talk later. It was stock, now it's LDL all-wheel drive, 48 volt. Very cool. I got one of those over here. I need to do it. This is the 2.4 kit. I thought the blue Trident we just built, I thought this was going to go on there, but I kind of didn't do that Once I saw Legacy Fork, I knew I wanted to get weird and do something different. And so that's where we ended up going with that project. But the kit is still over there. We could still totally put that on the stealth changer that I would like to do, which doesn't make a lot of sense because stealth changer is not really made for speed like that, but I don't know. My other V2 already has an all-wheel drive from vidIQ on it. We took a look at that on the channel a couple of months ago. Oh, this needs to be an 8. I see what you mean about devil sticks, Reth. Everything is tight and small. These doesn't want to grab into any of the M3 nuts. There we go. All right, that is that. Let's make sure it's oriented properly. Take this palm nut off of here. A couple hours. It was stock. Now it's LDO running all-wheel drive 48. Yeah, I just read that. Sorry, I'm behind. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat, and it's easy to remember what I read and what I didn't. Back on. Try and do some of that. Oh, dang, I forgot to put purple piece back on. Yeah, inverted electronics is quite a bit of work. And it's a big teardown. So if you're going to do it, it makes more sense to do it initially as part of the original build. I mean, you can convert things, but it takes some work. I feel like inverted electronics, at least on a Trident, should be stock by now. Makes a lot of sense to have that for access. Inverted electronics and Dragon Burner. Nice. Brett, have you seen that vidIQ has like a Dragon Burner CNC carriage? I want to try one. I have the A4T version. And I love that. But I don't have Dragon Burner on anything, actually, now that I think about it. I've got Stealth Burner on the 350 Trident, and the 2.4 has A4T. The other 2.4 has XOL on it. Converting all your Dragon Burners to vidIQ. Nice, dude. So is Dragon Burner your favorite or your preferred, I'll say, your preferred toolhead? I really like Ant Head because it's thinner. Like this way, it doesn't stick out as far. So you get a little more travel on X, I think. So on this build, I think that's what the members chose was Ant Head because that's what I printed. And so we're doing Ant Head with some WWBMGs, I think. No, what are they? WWG2s is what they are. Okay, swapped out Z-axis mounts for the improved ones that I made a little more stiff and printed a little better. So work is work. When it comes to these tool heads, all Yavoth all the way. Okay. Ooh, actually, now that you say that, over here I have a Mini V, which is a shoot off of, you know, like the SkeleFork we're building, kind of shoot off of a Micron, that kind of stuff. But it uses a Yavath tool head on it. Thanks for saying that. I totally forgot that guy was over there. I picked that up, ooh man, at Reno Vice. So that was like 2 Vices ago. I picked that up, and I haven't used it. I haven't really played with it. Haven't had the time. I keep getting distracted by other projects. But we should look at that someday for sure. Hey, good afternoon, Stuart. You like Dragonburn because it's really easy to print and build. Cooling's not the greatest, but it's consistent, easy to service. You have 5 printers using it. Makes sense. I mean, and you print a lot, so your word is as good as gold for me. You print like probably the most out of anybody that I personally know. That one's good. Let's put this back down. Do our z-axis here. Yeah, because we had to use shorter hardware on just about everything. I've got a lot of extra hardware now. I remember this being the most painful of all of them, is trying to get the z-axis in here because everything is so close to the lead screw. Actually, let's use a square driver. That way we have a little more control. There we go. So Stuart, what are you working on this weekend? Anything? You would also add that the fans are not loud, so you can still work the day job next to your printers. That's why you do not move to CPAP or server fans. Understood. I have CPAP on the FL Sun S1 because it came that way. I have not added CPAP to anything else because I agree, it is very loud. So unless I need that extra cooling, then I'm going to stick with something less. All right, so that's good. Okay, now to try filament. Just printed some parts for your Trident. Very cool. Okay, we've got motors in. Oh, I missed 2 back here. I need to do those. Let's flip this around. We got these 2 here. Oh, dry. Clownhammer, you crack me up, man. You always mistype everything and then come back and correct it. It's so funny. Most people wouldn't even care and just keep moving. Oh, that's why, because these are 10s. And I'm like, why are these so long? Okay. All right. Back to where we began. I need to probably run at least 1 wire from our fans to some location so that I can better... Actually, I'm going to swap that out as well. But we can better look at our bed fan wiring. I don't want to be fighting with a bed with it installed. So getting the fans on earlier are probably the better idea. Okay, so that's in good. We've got 2 40-10 fans down here that are just kind of hanging loose. I do have a couple of Wago mounts at the front in this 90-degree corner. And my thought process was that I could clip these, install that there, and then just run a single wire down the frame underneath and have that come out here and just join the loom for the Z chain. So I think I want to get after that right now while I'm thinking about it. And then we can work on some other stuff as we figure it out. Right now, this thing's pretty easy to flip around. And I dropped a pin out of something. Where'd this pin come from? Oh, it's out of the carriage. Yeah, so the carriage has these two pins that you use for connecting your belts to the carriage. And this one's loose enough to just fall right out. So we'll remove that, put that to the side. We don't need it right now. Okay. So if you're looking for this brace, trying to get you a good view here, probably that. And let's move the camera a little bit. So sorry, we'll try to not make you sick. You find CPAP to be quieter than having 12,000 4010s? Yeah, it might be. It might be. But again, if you're printing a lot of ABS, you don't need, in my opinion, you don't need a CPAP. Your 4010s are good enough. Okay. So this is the setup right now. This is a hammerhead connection. I forget what repo I got this from, but it's definitely on GitHub as a part of this. So if you search around the mods for SkeleFork, you should find this. You mistyped so much so it's actually another word. Need to make sure you're not confusing people anymore. Yeah. Tempted to try the metal 5015 from Cartographer, people in your stealth burner, but they were sold out. Yeah, they're always sold out. You know why? Because I'll get it right here. So this is your stealth burner version. And then I've got the 5015 version over here. These are also pretty loud. Felt like jets. Yeah. This would be great on A5T, or if you were using a stealth burner. Today, there aren't too many tool heads like the popular ones that use 5015 anymore. A lot of folks have gone to the 4010s because they seem to work okay for what it is. But not opposed to a nice 5015 fan. Okay, so that's long enough there. I think I'm gonna make one side the positive side, the other side the negative side. So I can't just, clip it straight across because then the other wire won't reach the far side. So what I'm gonna do instead is just trim off the connection. And then I'll pull this back, pull it apart. And if I'm gonna use this as my positive side, I'll leave my negative long, and I'll just trim the positive side of the wire here. And strip that out. Where's my strippers? Let's go with this guy. Might be with that fan on it. For PLA, stock stealth burner is not the best thing. Correct. It doesn't give you quite enough cooling, but for ABS printing, it works pretty well. So you want to strip about 11 millimeters off of this guy. If you didn't know, the side of the Wago has like a gauge on there to tell you how much wire to strip off. So if you're ever confused, you can look at the side of a Wago. And on this particular one, it says, well, I can't really see it. Uh, 11, I think. So let's give her a little twist. And then we'll insert that into this connection. I'll do a little bit of a tug test to make sure we're we're connected and we're good to go. For this one, I want to come up and around. And we'll go this way. This side's going to be our negative side. So we'll do the same thing, except leaving our positive wire a little bit longer. Good morning, Nozzle Clog. Need to get you one of those wire strippers? Yeah, you can find these at West 3D. They're like 20 bucks. It's super cheap. They work well. I'll just trim this one to about there. LTX, good morning. Yeah, I think everybody's doing all right. We're hanging out working on SkeleFork, aka SkeleFork, because this is going to be a Mad Max build. Make this a mini tool changer. All right, tug test on that guy says we're good to go. And just come across the top here and come across the top here. So we'll go about there on that wire. Come on, where'd it go? I lost it. There we go. What's 3D is the best 3D. Yeah, they probably get more of my discretionary spending than anything else. No lie. But it really depends on what I need. They don't have everything. And depending on what I'm building and what I might need, I definitely use the other folks as well. Even the little guys. The little guys have unique stuff sometimes. All right, so that's that one. Coming across here, go to the positive side. Cut that guy about right there. Is the frame hollow? It's a 15-15 frame, so yes, to answer your question, but not that hollow. It's very small. I think the holes drilled in the end of the frame are maybe only like an M3, maybe even an M2.5, something like that. So it's not as hollow. It's just a very small extrusion. But technically, yeah, it's hollow. Tug test. Okay, so 2 fans wired up, and then we can just do 1 wire down the length here when we get to the wiring section. But right now, fans are good to go. Let's toss all of this trash. Okay. All right. So what should we do next here? What should we do next? I don't want to do bed till last. Gantry is already on. I do have, what else? I've got light sticks for this guy. So these are mini everything on a stick. So we should get white and RGB, both on 5-volt. I have things printed for that. I generally like to do these last, but that is there. I've also got our side skirts printed. So these are already preloaded with some 4010 fans to make sure we get adequate cooling beneath. And those are good to go, so we could probably get those on. But again, we could do that at a later date as well. I think I'm at a point where we could do tool heads and rebuild some extruders. So let me move this guy out of frame here a little bit. Let's put it here. The blue trident is a very good table base today. And let's start taking one of these apart and see what we can find. Trying to clean up the desk a little here. Get rid of some tools. Okay. Extruder. Probably zooming it in a little bit as well. Let's go. Let's go there. And then if I want to get this guy, let's do that. Okay. Looks good to me. A&T, thanks for the sub. All right, let's take this apart. So I picked these up used on Marketplace. This one is SLS. Nylon injected, sorry, not injected, nylon powder printed parts. So very nice parts. I'm not going to toss them. I may keep them because we could use them for a different build, but I definitely don't want to use this on what we're doing right now. So sacrifice for the sake of science. Already ending up with some extra hardware that I have to sort later. I'm not sure what build this came off of. So I don't exactly know what it would directly fit. Again, I was just after the internals on this one. So note to those watching, Marketplace is a good spot to find hardware when you're looking for hardware. So this looks like it already has the Orbiter 2 internals on it. Sorry, the 2.5 parts. Or Galileo 2 parts, which are kind of the same. So you have the same spider gear and whatnot. This is the 9-tooth stepper. And again, pick these up on Marketplace. So we'll keep the housing and things like that. Some of this other stuff I don't need. So those two parts we can hold on to for later, maybe. And then this can come apart. Oh, good. They have Loctite on it. That's good. Don't have to worry about that coming off. Oh, the gear's just not coming off. Oh, sorry, I'm like totally in your camera shot there. Sorry, guys. What is happening? Oh, it's so tight, like it's not unscrewing itself. Hold on. That's too big, that's too big, that's too big. Let's try this guy. There we go. Just wasn't getting loose. The Allen key was spinning. All right, there's that. There's our spider gear and our housing we're not going to reuse. We'll just keep that over there. Those are nice injection parts. The parts on this one are printed, but not the parts that we need for the build. So we'll do that in a second. If you see one tool head, you could see both. So let me grab the parts for this guy. Got a box of things here. There's the lever arm. There's the housing. And there should be more than that. I've got two boxes of parts. Here's the other box. There's the rear for the other side. And we've got tool head board mounts. Extruder knob. Front face. And I believe that's it. I believe those are all the parts for an extruder. So like I said, I think these are the WWG2. And those go like so. I don't exactly remember which parts go where, so if we get stuck, we can definitely pull up the manual for it, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward on this. So I know that the back side, there should be a back side, I feel like this guy goes like so, but that doesn't make sense. Hey Steve, good morning. Trying to figure out parts here. So I may have printed BMG parts and not G2 parts. But that doesn't look like a G2 part. I'm sorry, a BMG part. That looks like a Galileo 2 part. Because that bearing fits in there, and this pin should go like that. I'm going to use the table to press it all the way in so we're as flush as we can be. So that's that. But these parts don't quite look the same unless I'm missing the back piece here. Like that guy. There we go. Now that'll sandwich together and we'll have a much better solution. Okay, so that goes there. This should go inside like that. So there should be another pin. Yeah. Okay. So what I can see is that this large bearing goes inside. We'll use the end of that driver to press the bearing in there. So we get a nice friction fit. Make sure it's all the way down and flush. I can't hold on to anything today. Jeez. Like so, and then I would expect this gear and its spacer to go in like that. We'll have the spider gear come in through the backside. Looks like a screw goes there to attach the idler arm. Yes, absolutely. I noticed that as well. I think I called it a pin, but yeah, it's a screw. So I love that these are hollow. These actually match, the end of these drivers match the bearing that we just put in as far as diameter. And then because they're hollow, they slip right down over to be able to press that spacer down onto the shaft. So a little bit of a trick there, I guess. Drive gear doesn't want to go back on to where, there it goes. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to put that on there to see if it lines up, and I put it on backwards, so don't do it that way. I need to lever this off. There we go. So put it on the correct way, like that. And just make sure our teeth are lining up with the filament path. And they look pretty good, so that spacer was a good call. So I'll get that on there and just give that a little bit of a tighten. It's too big. And good to go. So that holds together now. We'll come back in with a little bit of Loctite later and add that on there to make sure this doesn't remove itself. So that goes like that. And there's supposed to be another bearing here. It's not in this kit. So where did that bearing go? It was not in the, like when we took that initial extruder apart, it was not in the collection of parts. So let me see if I have one down here. Again, these are used bearings that, or sorry, used extruders I picked up on Marketplace. So may not have everything. I think this is too small. What is this? This is a honey badger something. 625. Yeah, that's not going to work. It needs to be like a 608 or something. So that's not it. These are too big. Yeah, I think we're missing a bearing. How unfortunate. Either way, I will figure out either if I have some of those spare somewhere, or there is another one maybe in here that we can use to continue to move. But yeah, we're totally missing a bearing out of that used extruder. Let's see if this one has one we can borrow. Come on. This is the longest screw ever. Quick reminder for the filament giveaway. If you have never tried LDO filament, we're going to give away 1 kilogram spool today. If you're interested in trying that, you should probably click the link there. If I have not pasted it yet, let me do that again, because I forgot to pin it. So there it is. And we'll pin that this time because I forgot the last time. And that way you can get into the filming giveaway and hopefully win some. Probably about 15 minutes or so. We're going to give that away. Yeah, so there's another bearing. We can use that guy. Put all that to the side. What kind is this so I know what to get? Not labeled. All right, we'll figure it out later. But we'll put that there. And then this goes together like so. Okay. A couple of small bits of hardware. I think those are probably 10s. So just trying to use some of the hardware that we took out of different things. I don't want to really use button heads, so we'll use some of these 8s. I think 8s will be okay. Totally just doing this from memory, what I remember off of the manual. It's not too hard, though. Oh, did I post the link twice? That's crazy. All right, so that and that. And you have your cap here that helps you like twist in your filament by hand. So you don't have to have this thing, but it does make it nice to be able to push that filament through. And then we could steal the rest of this hardware for the other extruder. I definitely need to order some more bearings because I think we were missing one. I do have ECAS fittings that we can put in there. Let me grab a couple of those. Where did it go? Again, I cleaned up over here and forgot where everything is, but here we go. Got a couple here. These are brand new ones. I'd rather use new ones than to reuse the ones that came in, because trying to get them out is going to be tough. So why not just go new? These particular ones came without the blue things installed, and these are always a pain in the butt. So I kind of get them in there the best I can, and then use the table with some leverage to insert them the rest of the way. Still can, oh, you can actually nozzle clog. You just need to know what the handle is, and then you have to type it out. It's not going to auto recognize it. That's the issue. Hey Liz, good morning. Coffee number 2. Yeah, I definitely need some coffee today. Had a wild night on Friday, stayed out late, having a good time, and definitely paid for it yesterday. I'm definitely 40. All right, so I'm gonna just use a tool to try to press that, and it didn't work too well. So pulled that rubber thing off, which is what we needed to do anyway. And then probably a better solution, instead of trying to be a brute, is to grab yourself some parallel pliers and just kind of smash these together. What are we laughing about, nozzle clog? There we go. Just kind of put some leverage on those, smash it together, be good to go there. And then hopefully your tolerances are just tight enough to allow that to go in there. And then once you get it in, so it's in there most of the way, make sure we're in frame. Once it's in there most of the way like that guy, can press this in like that the rest of the way. Now we're good to go with a brand new one. Just realized I forgot this heat insert here. So I will get the iron warmed up. And I think I probably forgot one over here too. So that's going to be fun trying to get around that gear there. But we could probably just remove that and give ourselves some clearance to get in there. Get this iron turned on. Oh, it turns out you have to plug it in if you want it to turn on. We're winning today, folks. Out here messing around too much, moving things, trying to clean up and get ready. All right. Let's see. That's a 2.5, and so is that. So we put this away. Try to minimize our tool count here. The night out, always fun times, yeah. It was such a good time though. Such a good time. Just trying to make sure this fits on here. Okay, so I have to remove a gear to get that on there. And once I install, it's going to cover up that heat set. So we definitely got to do that first. I don't need this black one. Put that over there. Grab some heat sets. Cool. Hey, Beta Printer. Welcome in. Just about ready to start that filament giveaway. You have about 10 minutes to get yourself signed up if you have not already. All right, good to go there. Straighten that out just a bit. Cool. And then I'm going to use my flat ruler here. Make sure it's flat. We'll do this one for the extruder arm. Cool. Stay over there. All right. So that one's good to go. Let's press this in with the ruler. Just make sure we're flush. Good. And so the guidler arm in here, we're going to use one long screw to go through most of this, hopefully not stick out the backside. So I believe that's going to be this guy here that came out of the, it's probably going to be too long once it's inserted. So I'm going to try a 12. I think a 12 should work. And it does not. I was wrong. A little bit too short. So probably a 16. Trying to get that out of there. It's a smooth-sided screw, so it's difficult to grab onto. There we go. Okay, so 12 doesn't work. Let's try 16. And I think that's going to work for us. At least I hope it does. 16 through, and yeah, it looks like that's going to work. So 3 by 16. Long enough to engage, but not too long to not engage. Ooh, actually no. It needs to be an 18. Holy Christmas. Maybe even yeah, probably minimum 18. That's wild. Okay, I don't have any 18s. Don't have any 18s. The best I can do is a 20. Might be some 18s in this kit. Let's see, got a button head 18. It's a 20. Maybe this black one is long enough here. This black one just looks too long, like it would stick out the back, which is not what we want. Use a 20, keep 2 millimeters in the box. I think maybe we just don't tighten it down because like this is the, you can barely see it, but it does stick out the back just a little bit. And that little bit's enough to interfere with the blue ring that we have to put on the back. So I don't know that I can do that. I could back it out, but it doesn't need to be tight. I agree with you. I could back it out, but with it being loose, I'm worried about it coming out. So I would need to put a little Loctite on the end of it so that I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I agree with you. Not only does it not have to be tight, it should not be tight because then your extruder arm won't work. It'll get bound up. Add some washers. There's no room for them, unfortunately. The hole is recessed here, and so a washer is not going to fit in there. So I'm just going to do it this way. I'll leave it extra loose. We'll just put some Loctite on the end of it so that it doesn't try to back itself out. And we'll just keep it loose. It's still pretty flush with the front of this because the hole is recessed. So that's pretty flush there. The arm still moves freely, no problems. And it doesn't stick out the back. So we'll go that route. And then this, because we took those gears off, can fit on like so. They do not have any heat sets in here. Oh, look at that. There's a small hole here in the ring that should allow a little bit of stick out. I didn't even see that. So ignore what I just said. We'll send her home till she's flush and the arm can still move freely. So that little bit of stick out should not be an issue. There's a relief to accept that. I did not even notice that. I was looking at the other side of it. The relief is only in one side. Cool, so that goes there. The housing goes right back on to where it was and just indexes into the blue printed part. Let's make sure we get those gears aligned. This is always the hardest part, is making sure everything aligns. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this housing. It's just held on there with friction. And just notice there's an extra ring down here. So an extra washer. I'm not sure which extruder that came off of. I think we're good the way that we are. Yeah, we should be good the way we are. That goes like that. Housing goes on here. Housing doesn't want to go. Oh, you know what? Better late than never. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. I feel like this goes on first. Like I'm backwards. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't go all the way flush. So I think I might have completely built this wrong. That's wild because this goes against the motor that way. So am I missing a part or something? Like these just don't go together. So that should go that way. But you see this giant gap in here. All right, we're going to pull out the manual. This is what I get. We're not referencing the reference material. Okay, I believe this is WWG2. Let's see. All right, wristwatch G2. Are there manual? This guy. Looks like it's indexed to go that direction. Yeah, that's what I think so too, but because I feel like I did something dumb, just trying to go off of memory, I jacked it up somehow. So we'll see. All right, so that is different than the part we used. So is that. This looks familiar. So I'm trying to put it in the correct way, but the housing doesn't go down far enough to be able to accept that. So the parts I have are slightly different than this guy. What did I screw up? What did I print? Yeah, because my parts look different than this. All right, let's go to the ant head one because that's where I began this journey, was with the ant head. Let's put in one of your lipo packs and storage vultures outside and it blew. Ooh. Oh no. I think it'll work if your shaft sticks out more. Yeah, it probably would. The problem is I don't know that the shaft will stick out more. It doesn't go through anymore. Oh, you know what? I see what I did. Okay. Let's go back to it. I see what I did. So remember when we couldn't find that bearing? It's actually under. I'll show you. I'll try to show you at least. It's under this spider gear. Right there. Come on. Oh, what happened to the camera? I'm missing the camera. Hold on. There it is. All right. We're on camera. All right, so under the spider gear, that's where the other bearing was. And so it's spacing it off instead of keeping it down. That's my bad. That's me not paying attention and being a little tired. But it is filament giveaway time, so I think this is a good excuse to redeem myself by bribing you all with a little bit of filament. Yeah, I want to do some of that, and then we'll fix my mistake over here and prepare to wrap stream. So if you have not done your entry into the filament giveaway, you need to click the link in the chat right now to get yourself in there. You have maybe 5 or so seconds until I can open this and get in there to close it. So right now I'm seeing 37 responses, so good job you guys for doing that. I'm gonna refresh maybe a couple of times here to catch any stray people getting in. We solid. We got 38 now. Looks like Kittrell is kind of the last person getting in there. All right, I'm closing this giveaway. So if you're in the middle of it and you're not done yet, sorry. Giveaway is closed. Let's open. Here we go. And then let me get your wheel up. $38 with 31 likes. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Thanks, Kevin. I don't know who got us over the hump there, but that's pretty good. You guys follow the rules. I love it. The unwritten rules. All right. Wheel of cheese. All right, so these are left over from last time. I think I had fixed the form. We had some issues last time. Folks were saying they had not entered, but their name was still here. I don't know. I think I fixed it. It was my mistake somehow. I jacked it up. So should be good now. Let me pull these names over. And these are our entries for today. So it looks like you guys have an increased chance to be able to win some stuff. So if we got 38 people here and 37, I think I said, entries, pretty high chance somebody's going to take home some filament. What I need now, though, is the number of times I need to shuffle this wheel. The 18th person to tell me a number, I'm going to go with your number. So number 18, we're going to pick your number. Da Vinci. Okay, there's 7 entries. There's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Don't knock it. It says 4, 43. All right, Wick Central with number 5. Wick Central, number 5 is what we're going to go with. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck, you guys. Who's it going to be? AFM 380. Are you here? Reth was number 18. Well, I miscounted and we've already spun. So next time, Reth, we'll get you. AFM 380. Are you here? I mean, Reth may get his number after all. We may end up going 43 times. We got about 60 seconds. AFM 380. Oh, there you are. Okay. Great job. So what happens now is I'm going to pass off your email address to the team at LDO. They're going to reach out to you for your address because I don't want that. So they're going to reach out to you for the address, communicate to them what filament you would like, what color and things like that, and they'll get you taken care of. If you don't hear from them in a couple of days, it means that I forgot to send the initial email. So reach out to me, let me know that I screwed up, and I'll fix myself, okay? Congratulations to you for winning. I'll send that pretty soon after here. Oh, did I never show the wheel? Did I do that whole thing and never show the wheel? Please don't tell me that. Yeah. Ah, pro streamer days, man. Pro streamer days. No wheel. My bad. My bad. Fix myself. Yep. Fix myself. I totally didn't show up, but AFM 380 was our winner. And I've already closed the wheel too. So my bad, guys. We are off beat today. Making all sorts of mistakes. Invisible wheel. Yeah. Just going to have to trust me. That's asking a lot. I understand. So pull that out of there. That's that extra bearing. Nah. That's why we were messed up there. So let's spin this. I might have to take this all the way apart, but I really didn't want to, so I was trying to cheat. So we'll hold that in place with the tool. Get this back in there. I thought something was up earlier when the shaft of this didn't stick out too far, and then it's like, what in the world? Okay, we're gonna take it apart because cheating is not gonna work for us today. Understand your force, unlike us, perfect in the army. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'll be honest with you. I am still recovering from Friday night. I feel like I got hit by a truck. So I'm extra tired, not paying attention, a little bit unprepared. Trying to make chicken salad right now. Or lemonade out of lemons, if you want to think of it that way. All right, that's much better. But I think I'm going to need that bearing on the backside. I don't like that rubbing across the plastic. So we'll take the other spacer that I wasn't sure where it came from, and we'll put that on here to space this off of the housing. And then we can go through. You're making bacon burgers later? That sounds awesome. I need some good food in my life. I don't think I ate enough yesterday either. All right, so that gives us just enough space where that doesn't rotate across the housing. And that should be pretty good. So we'll do that. And then, actually, I need to take one of these off so I can get this ring on here. Two of these off so I can get this ring on here. Just want to make sure that we're working okay. Jeez, come on, there we go. All right, that looks okay. We'll do these back on here. Like that. Ah, all right. This goes back down. Gear in the correct orientation. So spin the shaft around to have our flat line with the grub screw. Why do you not want to go on? Okay, good to go there. All right, give this a tighten. So make sure the spider gear is all the way in and this ring's out of the way. Kind of hold that tight. Just give that a little bit of a spin to lock that grub screw. Baking burgers and getting ready for your weekly Zep bound shot. I don't know what a Zep bound shot is. Not familiar with that. Zep bound shot. Okay. Got our housing. Let's line that up, get that going there. All right, back to where we should be. That looks a lot better already. Thanks, Reth, for the pointer. It got me thinking that maybe I was doing something wrong there. All right, where's that? Goes like that. Okay. Sounds like a laser tag place. It kind of does, I guess. But I know there's like so many different shots and drugs and stuff like that out there now. It's even hard to keep up with what is what. Okay, that extruder looks much better than the last one. I'll go ahead and put this in here to hold this arm. All right, good there. Put our knob back on. Okay, much better. Much better. This can go on here. And I think while we're at it, we'll add a little bit of grease to the inside. So remove that housing, put that together. Add a little bit of grease inside here. Weight loss like Ozempic. Oh, okay. Thanks, Liz and Kenny. I've never heard of that. I don't know. I heard they had a pill now, though. Like you can get a pill to lose weight. Maybe it'll make my head go smaller if I take some of that. So I've got this super lube, this silicone-based lube. We'll just put a little bit of that inside there. Like that. You see ads when you watch American TV. I know. Is it weird to you, Liz, that like in America we can advertise for drugs, like medications? I don't recall seeing that anywhere else in the world. Only here. So I don't know if Canada's like that or not. Your comment kind of implies to me that Canada doesn't see that. But yes, the names for these drugs is ridiculous sometimes too. And so when I hear Zepbound, I'm like, how did you even come up with that? What does that even mean? Okay. All right. I think we're finally good. Get my head out of my rear end and get this right. Okay. Should be fine. Let's see. We get some alignment here. There we go. And then we got one that comes through here and then one behind the idler arm that does the other side. So let's do, that's way too long. You have cheesy life insurance ads. So do we though. We have cheesy life insurance ads. It's often like an older actor or sports person or something like that that's doing it. Is there PTFE in the super lube? I don't think so. Maybe? No, there's not PTFE. It is... actually, yes, there is. Are you suggesting that we don't use that? There is PTFE in it. But my assumption was plastic gears on a plastic housing, that PTFE would be okay. If I am wrong, Reth, let me know. And I'll fix myself again. AI name generators. Weed billboards in Vegas? Dude, there are weed billboards in California too. When I go to Little Rock, they have their own industry of weed shops and billboards and that kind of thing out there. So you guys aren't alone. I remember that last time we went out there. We went out there for Christmas, I think 2 years ago, to Vegas, and we had the same thought. Like, when did weed billboards take over all the lawyer billboards and things like that? Don't use it. Get some other lube. Okay. I'll tell you a dirty little secret. I've used it on other G2 products and not have an issue. Again, the thought process is plastic on plastic, so I don't need an oil-based lube for that. I don't fully understand what the issue is, like why I should not, and I personally have not seen issues with it, so I'm not worried. Hey, Daddy Wazzy, good morning. About to get wrapped up here. We've done a little bit of work, not as much as I would like, but I keep screwing up, so I have to backtrack. Come out. Jeez. All right, get that out of there. Want to put a little bit longer one in here. Not that long. That's ridiculous, but a little bit longer one in here, like this guy, where it sticks out maybe 5 or 6 millimeters, so that when we add on a tool head board, this guy here, that I have my standoff has something to attach to. So let me grab a longer screw. I did not say good, but if it is good, then roll with it. It's not good. It's not good. I am at like 70% today. Genuinely. Friday was a rough night. All right, so I've got a couple of millimeters of thread stick out on that one, so that should be fine. Not as much as that side, but enough. Okay, that is that. This feels good. We'll get that together there. Hold on. All right, there we go. BF2. Ah, heartbroken. Heartbroken, Liz. All right, like so. This will go there. So let me grab some standoffs. I ordered a bunch of different standoffs in a bunch of different sizes for reasons. Firstly, because I like to use them on extruders like this, but then also because they work great for standoffs on your main boards and things inside your electronics. So here are some that are 16. What else? This is 28 and 25 and 20. So usually for the extruder, you can use a 20 and be okay. They make fancy ones. These brass ones work just the same. I've got a few fancy ones over here that come with like your Nighthawks and things like that. So these are black standoffs. This one happens to be like diamond cut, so it looks really fancy. You can do it. Not gonna do it today? Okay. Yeah, so this one's diamond cut. It looks really fancy. This one is smooth. It just, whatever you want. I'm not gonna be at Rocky Mountain. I could make it work. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I could make it work, but it's a lot of frustration. I would not be able to stay for 2 whole days like I did last year. So the plan was earlier that I was going to arrive on Thursday evening. I would stay through Monday morning and depart on Monday morning. But I've got to do a class now, and the class is the same. It overlaps Rocky Mountain on the front and back half. So I'm in class for a week in Alabama, and then after the first week is Rocky Mountain, and then I still have to go back for class. And so instead of flying across the country back and forth twice just to spend barely 24 hours, I decided that I would forego Rocky Mountain this year, and it hurt my heart. I really liked hanging out with you guys last year and seeing all the people that I only know online and things like that. I got to take a picture with Liz. I got it hanging on my fridge too. I need to get it autographed, but I'm a little bit bummed about it. I'd really like to go. That's what I look forward to every year. You should look at Open Sauce. It's in Palo Alto. I am looking at Open Sauce. I was able to go to Orange County Maker Faire. That was pretty cool. If Vice was in Reno again this year, I would have gone to that. So there are opportunities to do stuff, but Rocky Mountain is my favorite. When is, can you remind me when the Open Sauce is? Because again, depending on the dates, I may or may not be able to go. I'm trying to move this summer, so. Alabama is where you did AIT, Fort Rucker? Yeah, so we're going Maxwell, so Montgomery. Thank you for your service. July, yeah, that's when I'm trying to move. So if it is early July, I might be able to make it. If it's end of July, oh, it's going to be a hard maybe. Because I need to move end of July, first week of August. So we may have like movers here and living out of suitcases and things like that. So it depends. I'll give you a hard maybe right now, Daddy Wazzy. Mid, like around the 19th. Yeah, I'll give you a hard maybe right now. And continue to ask, though, because my moving situation is very fluid right now. I'm still waiting for where and when. And it keeps moving. Like I should have known on this coming Thursday, but then they moved it to the following Thursday. So if it continues to be a moving target, I'm going to have a hard time committing to basically anything. Right. So I've got the Nighthawk here. This is the newest one, the Rev C Plus. This is what I plan to use for both of these, just to make it easy. Can run a single cable back. I don't really want to do CAN bus or anything like that, so we're gonna go with another Nighthawk here. I'm just waiting on one more to come in so that we have two for the build. There's our extruder. Once we figured it out, the next one should be just as easy. This moves just fine. I've got the carriage done. I just need to build another tool head and then start to get things assembled on a machine. So let me catch up on chat a little bit. I'd rather talk than build right now. You're maybe two? Okay. Well, if you do see me, because you can see my face and I can't see yours, please say hi and introduce yourself. I can't picture what your face looks like, so you'll have to do the work there. Gonna walk around incognito. Well, can you incognito let me know who you are when you see me? Lone Star 3D Expo looks to be building up. Yeah, I've heard that. I would love to go to Lone Star. I hate Dallas. I hate Dallas because it's hot, it's crowded. It's like LA, but hotter. But it is cool. I do like Dallas from the standpoint of there's a lot to do in Dallas. Dallas is really cool. Just Texas is difficult. Mod 4 turning in August. Kenny, yep. So here it is also hot. So we've had 95 degrees all this week. Today is supposed to be like upper 80s, so like 88, 89. So that's what we're dealing right now in March. We get a little bit of a reprieve starting tomorrow, I believe. It'll be like max of a 70-degree day. But pretty quickly, it's going to start getting hot. I live in the middle of the desert, man, so I fully understand. We don't get the Alabama humidity, but we definitely get a lot of the heat. Check your arm, let you know what you think. Check your arm. Oh, the picture you sent. Yes, absolutely. We're inside all day. That's what we need. Inside all day. If you tell me that, I'll be okay with it. And we're still talking about August for that one, yeah? For Lone Star? August may work a little bit better. But again, it really depends. If I don't get to where I should be until the end of August, or sorry, end of July, just to turn around and have to leave to go somewhere else. We'll see. Liz, you're going, right? You're going to Lone Star? Dallas is kind of easy to fly into from almost anywhere. I feel like Dallas is that hub that, at least in the States, if you're going coast to coast, you're probably going to go through Dallas to get there. So, again, depending on where I go and when, I may be able to get there. Murph is in June. I've never been to Murph. Murph is always on the East Coast, and I've not been close to the East Coast in 20 years, man. It's been a long time. I won't say it's not fully East Coast. Midwest, right, fast. So like Ohio-ish area. I've never been up that way. But we're right about 10 o'clock, folks. So this is the time we start wrapping up. I'm sorry we didn't get as much done as I would like to. If I were a better pro streamer, we would get there. You debated Murph since you can make Rocky Mountain? Indiana? Yeah, I had that totally wrong. I don't know why. I read Earth in my mind when I read your comment, and then I started looking at it again, and I'm like, oh, it's Murph, Midwest. Yeah, so Indiana, I've never been to Indiana. Well, I won't say I've never been. I've never stayed there enough time to, or be in proximity to go to Midwest Fest. So maybe one day. It depends. I'd like to go to all of them, honestly. But again, I'm not a sponsored person, so it makes it difficult to do that stuff. Anything that I'm able to do kind of comes from you all being members and subscribers and stuff like that. So YouTube helps with some of that stuff. But generally, everything that we do here, anything that comes from YouTube or those sponsorships and memberships and things go right into the builds that we do here on stream. So yeah, we'll see what happens. You're not either, so one a year. Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people, right? So I hope that it continues to catch on and grow, and we start to create fests like in different parts of the country so that it's easier for more people to be able to go. Uh, Rocky Mountain is my favorite. It's the most fun. But Denver is not as easy to get into as a Dallas or an Atlanta or hell, even like an Oklahoma City. Love Midwest. Anyone who complains about it needs to take a chill pill. Have people been complaining though? Has that been a thing? I've heard that it's hot. It's like in an old like barn or something, and it gets really hot. Outside of that, I don't know what there's to complain about. But all right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap stream. Grown men whine about the humidity. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Liz. I'm a little bit of a whiner about humidity. Humidity kind of sucks. Small fairground. I turn into a whiner. But here's the thing. After you're already hot, after you're already sweaty, it doesn't even matter anymore. If Zombie would just bring his margarita machine, there'd be a lot less whining. Just saying. Just saying. But like I said, we're going to wrap stream. We're right at the 10 o'clock mark. So a solid 2.5 hours. Didn't get as much done as we could. I'm going to continue working as much as I can for the rest of the day on things and stuff. I still owe sort of a final wrap up on the legacy fork. We got it sort of printing, but then had issues with the electronics shutting down. And I have not heard that in a while. And I don't really understand what the problem is. So I have yet to try out a new cable, but I can do that here in a little bit. Put my hair in a ponytail. Oh, dude, like, I've taken care of that. My hair's permanently in a ponytail. Nothing to worry about. That's why you left Georgia. Yeah, I could see. I used to live in South Carolina, right across the way from you. And I'm glad that I don't live there anymore. I went home to visit my parents one day a couple years ago, and no, I've lost all tolerance for humidity. So I'm like, a part of me is dreading even the chance of going back to a high humidity location. Really wouldn't want to, but some of the other locations are, I don't know, less desirable. I'll say it that way, less desirable, but lower humidity. But we'll see what happens. You guys will definitely know when I know what we're doing next and what that looks like. So I can sit here and talk and blab all day. I appreciate the engagement and the questions and the chats. Miss hanging out with you guys and just sitting around talking shop. So I'm gonna give you 60 seconds back of your time here and go ahead and wrap stream. Thank you all for hanging out. However many of you are here. I can't really see the metrics right now, but I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out. We'll get started on SkeleFork again next week. The plan is to finish up this project within the next couple of weeks before I get out of here. I've got 3 more Sundays to go before I got to leave for school. So all 3 Sundays are going to be SkeleFork to get as far as we can. And then hopefully I can get 1 or 2 more days in there before I leave to work on this thing to get it just a little more down the road before we have to take a 3-week break. All right. You hope you get Hickam. I wouldn't hate it. The wife wouldn't hate it either, but we'll see, man. Bye, you guys. See ya. Have a good week.